Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about Medium. I know in the past I've talked about how much I've made on Medium. If you haven't seen those videos, feel free to go watch those. And I did talk about the pros and cons of starting, like joining Medium and writing on Medium. But I thought, seeing as I've gone over those things, got those out of the way, I would make a video on how to start writing on Medium. So you can get started writing on Medium if that's something that you have decided after watching all of those videos, because I suggest you do watch them before you do start writing on Medium, just so you have the right expectation, because I know there's a lot of information out there and people giving the impression that Medium is this easy, quick for money scheme, which it really isn't. And it takes a lot of hard work, as everything does, in order for you to see results. Some people see results faster than others because they have platforms, they get landed in a big pub, but it's not always that easy for everyone. So if you've watched all those videos and you're like, yes, I still want to start on Medium because I want to write, I love writing, or I want to make maybe some side change, then let's do this. How to start writing on Medium. So the first thing you want to do is to open an account with Medium. It's an easy setup. You can either sign up through Google, Facebook, or email. You just go through the setup. It's really simple, really easy. When you're signing up, do think about your username. I will talk a little bit about that later on, but think about your username and whether or not you want to use your real name or a pen name or some other type of name that might not actually be a name. But usually people use either their real name or a pen name. So I use my real name, Abigail Taiwo, and it's the name I use for writing. I know there are people who use pen names successfully on Medium if that's something you're wanting to do, like Zuli Rain. That's not her name. She said that multiple times. It's a pen name. So because she wanted to keep her private life and her writing online life separate, which is totally fine. So that's also an option for you if you would like to go down that route. Especially if you know you're going to be writing something that you're not sure you want the world to see connected to you. I know there's some people who write like risque stuff on Medium. So like there's a lot of people who write like relationship stuff and they don't want anyone to connect it to them. So they use a pen name for that. And yeah, it's totally understandable. So consider it when you're creating your account. The next thing to do is if you want to do this is optional, it's not mandatory, but to join the Medium Partner Program. The Medium Partner Program, it's where you earn money for the read time and the amount of people who read your content. The Partner Program is only for certain countries. There's like an eligibility. I'll try and put a picture here of the countries eligible. You have to be in a Stripe eligible country because Medium pays through Stripe. So if you're not on the Stripe eligible country list, then you won't be able to monetize with Medium, as far as I'm aware, and that's what they say on their website. So I don't know if there's any way around this. I know people have asked me how to monetize if they're not in a Stripe eligible country, and I don't know of any way that it's possible, because you need Stripe to receive your income, to receive your payment, and yeah, if you don't have that, then it's not possible, as far as I know. So the next thing to do is to set up your profile. So I joined Medium in May last year and it was very basic. They've changed a lot of things since then, and it's been like less than a year since I joined, but now there's designs, so you can pick color schemes and text and all sorts of different stuff for how you want your profile to look. Right now, because I'm not looking to really do a big rebrand on Medium yet, and I like the minimalistic original style, I've kept mine that way. So that's like a purposeful thing. The only thing I might change is adding a banner, which when I get a minute, I will create one on Photoshop and put it on Medium, and I'll be done until I decide that I want some more color or something extra on my profile page. But yeah, design yours however you like. Pick a color scheme that you're interested in. Use something like Canva. I love Canva. Canva's amazing. Everyone uses Canva. If you see any cool graphics and you know that person doesn't know graphic design, it's definitely Canva, because Canva has really great like beginner entry-level stuff that you can use that is really easy to use, but it looks amazing. So I always recommend Canva if you are trying to create any graphic design stuff. I create everything with Canva if I don't do it on Photoshop. Like Photoshop is I'm having an intense day and I've got like a good 4 hours blocked out and I can create something really, really nice on Photoshop. Canva is, I've got an hour and I don't want to sit at the computer all day and make my eyes go fuzzy. So I'm gonna go on Canva and pick a bunch of like presets and then just edit what I want to how I like it. So yeah, Canva's a great beginner tool for anyone looking. I use it for my YouTube channel as well, for my thumbnails sometimes. Yeah, so recommend. So the next thing to think about is choosing your topic. Think about what you're interested in. Writing isn't easy work, you know, you're gonna be sitting at a computer spending a few hours working on stories. So try and pick things that you're interested in. Try and experiment with different topics. So it's worth considering if what you're interested in falls under a current medium topic, because although curation is not really as big a thing anymore, it's still around. And so if you're wanting to get curated, maybe writing within the topics that are listed on Medium is a good idea for you. And once you choose your topic and you know what kind of topics you want to be writing around, pick a few to experiment with. Once you've picked those, I really think the best thing you can do now is to read as much as you can. This is what I did when I first started. Like I was reading all day, every day on Medium. Like I was glued to Medium because I was so obsessed and I really wanted to know what would make a good story. Even though I was writing poetry, like I still was interested in what was doing well on Medium. And because I was just, I don't know, I got hooked. And the algorithm was really good and it kept feeding me everything I wanted to read. So so I just like read I read a lot of like finance-based stuff and entrepreneurial stuff, like things that I'm just interested in that I don't actually write about, which I should write about at some point. I will write about. But yeah, look at the story format, look at what does well, look at how people write their stories, how they space them, how they format them, like sentence structure. Just read as much as possible. You don't have to study, but if you read, you will just start to pick things up and it will just be in the back of your mind. So that's a good way to learn without having to actively learn and take notes and whatnot. So just read as much as you can. I feel like in your first month, it's probably a good idea to get membership. I had membership for forever basically. I only stopped it in December, but I'm gonna re-enable it soon because I'm writing often again. Right now I'm doing like a 7-day project where I write every day for a week to see how that affects my Medium stats and just my overall like how well I do on the platform. So let me know if you want to see a video on how that goes. I wasn't planning to film it, but I'm happy to share the results if you guys are interested. So the next thing to do is to write your first story. Don't read for like an endless amount of time and never write. The best way for you to learn how to write is to write. So write a few stories and publish them. Look for some pubs, look for some smaller pubs in the beginning, even some larger pubs if you wanna go for that route. When I started with publications pubs are publications, by the way. I started with smaller pubs in poetry, in the poetry niche, and some of them have become bigger pubs as I started writing, not as I started writing for them. I did not influence that at all. But I mean, I started writing with them when I was new and they were newer, and now they're like more established. So that's something to consider. Don't overlook the smaller publications and try and go for the huge ones, because usually the huge ones, number one, are hard to get into. Number two, don't always have the most dedicated readership. Like they have a dedicated readership, but they're so saturated because there are some that release stories, like so many stories a day that you're like a needle in a haystack. So yeah, it could be harder to be found and seen on those pubs. So mid to small when you're starting could be a good entry level way to go, especially if you're new to writing in general. But if you're an experienced writer, you've been writing for maybe some websites or you do freelance writing, you might be able to just go straight for a big pub and be like, this is my experience and I would love to write for your pub. So each publication has their own requirements of what it takes to join. Some say that you have to wait a certain amount of time. Some you just fill in a form. Others you comment and say, add me as writer. So do check how to publish under a publication, and yeah, try and get published under a pub. Once you've written your story and if you decide to submit it to a publication, then the next thing to do is to do it again and again and again and again and again Just keep doing it. When I first started, my first month, I wrote almost every day. I say almost every day, it was like every other day. So it was about 15, I uploaded 15 stories that month. So I was writing every other day, and that really showed me what people like to read. It showed me what I like to write, and it showed me what would do well and what worked best for me. So I think that is a great tactic to do. So if you are just starting out, I suggest writing as much as you can in your first month. Some people like to do, maybe they're gonna spend a lot of time and work on their craft, work on writing a great piece and then getting it out there like less often. But honestly, if you're new to writing and you wanna see like the most growth and the steepest learning curve that you can, like writing often in the first month especially, I think is quite important. And honestly, I feel like if you're writing more often when you first start out, Medium might be more inclined to want to push your work or curate you. That's at least what I found in the beginning when I started. So experiment with different topics, see what you like, try as many different styles as you can, and just see what sticks, see what does well. And the last tip and the last thing of starting writing on Medium is to try not to focus on the analytics. I spent multiple times a day on Medium analytics, just looking at the stats and seeing where I was at and seeing how things were doing. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't do it. Don't torture yourself like that, because in the beginning you're not going to see a lot of growth. You're not going to see a lot of big numbers, and it can be discouraging if you're someone who gets discouraged by not seeing results immediately. So maybe don't look at Medium if you know you're that kind of person. However, I'm used to analytics. You know, I've done YouTube for a while and I'm used to seeing numbers. I know how growth works. I know how hard it can be to see any bump. So when I see like little improvements, I'm excited. I love stats. I'm a numbers girl, so I couldn't help but stare at my Medium stats all day long. It didn't really affect me, so I was okay doing it, but I don't suggest it for everyone, because if it's gonna prohibit you from writing, it's not worth it. Those are my tips on how to get started writing on Medium. Have you started writing on Medium? Let me know down in the comments below how you've been finding your journey so far. I know a few of you started writing on Medium since you watched one of my videos on Medium, and that's really cool and really exciting. So I'm excited for you guys. I hope you're having a great time on the platform. I'm writing every day right now, so I'm releasing some intense poetry, going through my collection, and yeah, just trying out some new poems. I hope you guys are doing well, and I'm sorry that this video lighting is just absolutely ridiculous. I feel bad for you. I do apologize. I don't know what happened. The sun decided it wanted to be radical. Please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. But I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. You know, a pin in it. What is the thing about a needle in a haystack? Jeez. Do subscribe to my channel down below. Give this video a like.